Welcome to the Wednesday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for the follow, Haas. I appreciate that. Alright, folks. We do have a lightning round of headlines before we get into more of the IPCC report. And make sure we got everything here. Hey Thandara, how's it going? First one on the list. House passes the John Lewis voting rights bill that's set to stall in the Senate. We're not sure. Most likely, this is going to be filibustered. Most likely, this is going to be filibustered. The House on Tuesday passed voting rights. Hey, Zachap, how's it going? Wait, what? Oops. I think I clicked on the wrong one there. Shortest stream in history. Shortest stream in history. A total of less than 15 minutes. Look at that. I'm kidding, folks. The House on Tuesday passed voting rights legislation named for the late Representative John Lewis, a party line vote that underscored the bill's nearly impassable upward climb in the Senate. Safeguarding voting rights is a top issue for Democrats, whose signature election reform bill has all but stalled out in the Senate. Republicans filibustered the sweeping bill in June. But most Republicans also oppose more targeted Lewis-named legislation, which would restore key provisions of the Voting Rights Act that were struck down in the Supreme Court in 2013. Representative Terry Sewell, the bill's lead sponsor, said lawmakers had a moral obligation to combat voting restrictions by passing the legislation. Old battles have indeed become new again. While literacy tests and poll taxes no longer exist, certain states and local jurisdictions have passed laws that are modern-day barriers to voting. As long as voter suppression exists, they need full protections from the Voting Rights Act. Madame Defarge was resubscribing with a tier 1 sub, 8 months. Thank you so much. How's it going? There are a couple of good folks in chat. Make sure you check out twitch.tv/Zachap and twitch.tv/Madame Defarge. Going great. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Hope you're doing okay. I'm alright. Good morning. Howdy. It's like the most pressing issue of our lifetime's voting rights, and they still slow as fuck. Well, like here's the thing. I had a long 12-hour stream today. How did you manage that one? How do you manage that? Hey Darknet, how's it going? How do you manage that? Howdy. Good chat with ASMRists and educated people in chat about unique plants. Nice! Now, okay, I guess I could see, you know, time flies when you're having fun and chatting with good people. True. Although I do think that part of a healthy democracy is to expand the abilities and access to vote. I think that you could make a situation, because like some of these people are hard pressed about some type of quote voter ID laws. They're really, really adamant about these quote voter ID laws. Okay. If you're so adamant about it, here's my galaxy brain solution. Every single 18-year-old American citizen gets immediate automatic registration, automatic paperwork sent to them. Everything is just given straight, easy, done, and free. If you want to go that route, okay. Same, like all as soon as you're 18, just automatic register to vote. You get your card, you get your ID, and everything's in the mail. Boom. Dr. Hemed out, rating with a party of 51. Thank you so much, I appreciate that. Howdy, Hemers. Hey, Terra Supernova. We've got the fastest growing beard throwing over his wonderful community of Hemers. How's it going, Hemers? Good morning. All of you guys are just coming in at the perfect time as we start our day here. Hey Tara, how's it going? Make sure y'all follow twitch.tv/Dr. Hemed out. Make sure you follow twitch.tv/Terra Supernova. So have you guys figured out what Hassan... if Hassan has a garden? I don't know. I don't know. So yes, if you want to do this, and maybe you can get some folks on board and say, fine, you know what? We'll do this quote voter ID stuff, but everything has to be automatic, free, and done straight through the mail, or you can register online and get it delivered to you for free. Boom. And everybody who's 18 and up, who's a citizen, gets automatically registered. No need to go to the DMV. No need to do any type of nothing. It's just one and done, automatic. There you go. You get signed up for the military draft automatically. Why not voting registration? There you go. There you go. That's the solution to these folks. Right there. Boom. Automatic voting registration. You automatically get put on those rolls, and you get your stuff delivered to you right there. My streaming computer's broken, so I'm just a chatter for the moment. Aw, dang. Since robo-taxis, yeah. Let's get rid of the Electoral College and the Senate, make every vote equal. That's a concept. I do think that the Electoral College is antiquated and Really, not democratic at all. There you go, Bentley. Automatic registration is dope. I just got my stuff sent to me for the upcoming election here. There you go. Hey, now that's a concept. You want to play this game of like, oh, well, we need voter ID to make sure that our election... Okay, fine. Alright, just make sure everything's automatic, everything gets registered, boom, as soon as you're 18. Everything's sent in the mail, every election, and a PSA announcement every election to check, to make sure your address and everything is good. Everything is done for you, so that you don't have any hoops to jump through. The Electoral College is anti-democratic, true? True. And it took me so long that my deal was the biggest hassle ever. So, that being said, it should just be automatic. Years, Jesus Christ. Yeah, no. It should be just automatic. You get a state ID, or I guess, I don't know if you want to make it state ID or national ID. Automatic as soon as you turn 18. The state prints it out and sends it to you. Boom. In Canada, we register when we file our taxes. Nice. Hey, that works as a chap. Discord on phone is a thing. Okay, that's another option. It just, it could be through your social security card, because it's already given to you. Yeah, could just do it that way. It doesn't matter. I couldn't get my state ID till I was 20. That's some BS. Like, it should just be, if you want to do these type of rules, it should just be boom. I guess the question is, who controls the elections right now? Right now, the states regulate their own, but they're a mess. Yeah, so basically, I think that, should federal elections be regulated by the Fed? There should be some type of universal guard rails. That kind of apply to everybody. I lost my birth certificate and SSN, so I couldn't have so I didn't have any form of photo ID. Jesus. Okay, that's a nightmare. That is a nightmare scenario. Right. Catch-22. No, that's a nightmare scenario, Tandara. I use my magnetized vaccine spoon as an ID. Why not with your vaccine microchip? True. Voting shouldn't have so many roadblocks. True. It should be as easy, accessible, and free. True. Registering for the US election from abroad was annoying. Oof. It shouldn't be though. It should just be automatic. If you wanna do these rules and like make these voter ID things, like you gotta make it so simple, so streamlined that everything just gets delivered to you. You get automatically registered, and I mean, if you're automatically registered, that might even encourage more people to vote. They don't have to go through all this process. I think the military does like the mail-in ballots, right? And drop the voting age to 10. True. There you go. There you go. The bill passed by 219 to 2012 vote. 212 vote. In other words, basically through party lines. It is unlikely to advance further in the Senate, where the legislative filibuster remains intact despite a progressive push for change that would weaken the chamber's supermajority requirement to pass most bills. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell has cast doubt on the need for proposal, arguing that the Supreme Court only eliminated the pre-clearance formula determining which jurisdictions need federal approval to make substantive change to voting laws, not the voting right protections themselves. Advocates, on the other hand, say voting protections are toothless without that pre-clearance formula. Lewis' named bill only has one GOP sponsor in the Senate, Lisa Murkowski. Illinois Representative Rodney Davis, the top Republican on the House panel that oversees federal elections, denounced the legislation as a federal takeover of elections and a, quote, partisan power grab. Wait, but like, what if it flips? What if it flips? Wouldn't you have the power? Doesn't Congress have the power to like determine how like things are done? Okay. The Congressional Black Caucus and other top Democrats have pushed the bill's consideration to be moved up for the fall. Democratic lawmakers and staff worked for months to craft a new pre-clearance formula they believed could survive judicial scrutiny if the bill is ever signed into law and challenged in court. The bill also addresses the July Supreme Court decision that can make it harder to change voting laws. The House Majority Whip Jim Clyburn was in tears during a closed-door meeting of Democrats as he spoke about the legislation and his parents' experience with voter discrimination, according to a member in the room. I just realized that with no ID, state wouldn't recognize me to buy cigs at 18, but apparently I exist when I got caught with weed in the car. Yeah. Yep. But if all citizens automatically get registered, they might actually go vote. Yeah, I know, Silver Knight. So if you wanna make these rules, coming in hot from the Eastern Time Zone, howdy. If you wanna make these rules and you wanna make like voter ID and all this other stuff, okay. Well, then make everything automatic. Make all your registration. I mean, like, first of all, it should just be the norm that people, as soon as they turn 18, get an automatic registration. But nonetheless, that is something that is not a thing. So I think that the Democrats could then use that as a leverage to say, okay, fine. You want to make this you want to make this voter ID stuff? You claim to care about the integrity of the election? Okay, fine. We'll do the thing, but there must be a automatic registration. As soon as everyone's 18, you automatically get the said state IDs. As soon as you turn 18, you get your state ID. You get the whole thing sent to you, and with an option right there. As soon as you turn 18, you get a mail. You get a mailer with your ID, your registration, and the option of checking for mail-in ballots. You could always have, if you could have the whole world vote for something, what issue would you pick? Climate change. Easy clap. All public funded elections equal TV time, and you get one pamphlet. Huh. Yeah, okay. If you could have the whole world vote for something, what issue would you pick? Yeah, like you said. Well, I guess you would. I guess I didn't understand the question. But you mentioned what issue would I pick? I would pick to have a vote on what to do with climate change and move in the direction of, about election security. I would say that a automatic. Jesus, is it one? Can I pick multiple ones? Because like there's things that we can do. Because like I don't know if like quote, election security is really an issue, but as far as I can tell, I mean, even before Obama, 2008, elections have been run, pretty much the same throughout this country, and we've never really had like a severe problem. We shouldn't do anything without proof of something that needs change, right? So that's a good point. But I want to make sure that voting is as easy, accessible, to everybody, right? To every American citizen. It should be the easiest thing in the world to vote. It should be, it should just be automatic registrations and things like that. But if these folks are claiming that they have a problem of, quote, if they want to implement something under the basis of election integrity, which I don't think it's a problem, but if you want to implement something to the effect of like voter ID and stuff like that, fine. Then the Democrats can leverage saying, okay, but we must have automatic registration. We must have free IDs to everybody, and as soon as you're 18, you get all of that in the mail with the option to check and say, I want to get mailers, voting by mail. Boom. And voting by mail, easy. More voting stations. There you go. Would you hypothetically vote for Ron DeSantis as president? Hold on. Is this a meme? A 5-minute-old account? Oh no. Hypothetically, as if... yeah, no. I would never vote for Ron DeSantis. I realize this is always a hot topic with security and shit. Yeah, but like... yeah, that's my problem, Callow. I don't know about digital. I don't know about digital. I'm not 100% comfortable, like, hey Zimbu, I see you. Don't worry, I see you. I'm not comfortable with digital because I believe that, no, I don't know. But it must be as easy as possible. It must be the easiest thing in the world is to vote. It should be to vote. It is the most sacred part of a democracy. It is the cornerstone of democracy, is the ability to vote. What if you get all Americans in one room and you do a hand raise? I'm pretty sure that most people would be fine with like increasing the ability to vote, right? And I think that most Americans would be fine if, for example, someone, a Silver Knight, make sure you have enough, voting precincts. Make sure it's properly staffed and funded to make sure that there's enough people so that you don't have to stand hours in line. It should just be as easy as possible. There should be automatic registrations as soon as you're 18. I mean, these are basic stuff. I don't see why nobody would be against that. I suppose the countries that do it don't have as much sway on the world as the US, so many people now waste their times on hacking the systems. I don't know. I'm just... America does voting so correctly. This is a weird topic. I don't know if we have... well, in terms of integrity and security, I think we're okay. I think the rate of like voter fraud and election fraud is negligible. negligible. If that's what you mean. If that's what you mean. I want to be like the other first world countries with healthcare, paid vacation, and shit. We look like losers. True. True. You vote by handing in your pinky finger so you can only vote 2 times per life. Jesus Christ. No. Participation is the problem? Okay, so make it easier for people. Make it easier for people. Automatic registration. Boom. Make mail-in a readily checkable option. Easy. Online voting isn't and cannot be secure right now. The issue is a single point of failure and impact that can have. People often point to secure banking, but they completely miss the fact that online banking is not secure. Yeah, it's a good point. Maybe if folks were given hope that their participation would yield any results. Now there's a concept. Imagine a world where our representatives actually represent us, and where actually getting out there at least makes us feel heard. Yeah, that's a concept. So TLDR, Chai Bureaucrat made a good point. There's a couple of good points that were made. Publicly funded elections, equal TV time. I like that. But automatic recall on all positions. Maybe that should be a federal like ability to, of course, with the correct guardrails in place. I think you should be able to recall any elected position. Any elected official, I should say. With the correct guardrails, so it doesn't become a political, a political power tool. I think that you should be able to recall any elected position. Yeah, these are two different things, buddy. You're talking about regulated versus secure. Like, I know, it's just crazy talk, right? So the point is, all these folks who are going on about voter ID and stuff like that, I think that the Democrats should use that as a leverage point to try to get like universal registration as an automatic thing, universal IDs that get sent immediately, and pamphlets that give you the options of checking in for mail-in ballots across all states, not just certain ones. Things like that. And use that as a wedge. If banks wanted it secure, it would be. Wait. What? You're not making any sense, buddy. This is exactly what I'm talking about. People have no idea what they're talking about, but say it with the highest confidence. True. True. Because if you propose it this way to the Republicans, that would really kind of tell you what their real positions are, right? Think about it. If you as a political party, right? If you're the Democratic Party and you say, you know what? Fine. You want voter ID? We'll do universal issuing of state IDs. Every state has to issue an ID immediately for everybody who's 18 and up, because we have that information. And and everybody has to be universally registered to vote in each state. And yeah, you want secure elections? There you go. And see what they say, because that will tell you what their motivation is behind these laws. That's right, we want easy, instant registration, easier voting options. Voter ID is a bit dumb, but it's already required at almost state level, and bars in place to get the ID is a problem. A pay gate for voting is wrong. Exactly, so it should be free and automatic. You get automatic a state ID automatically. No paying, no nothing. It's just sent to you right there. And see what they say. Because that will tell you where the motivations lie. Right? Because if you make it so that you have automatic registrations that automatically give you the ID and have all of this just sent to you, there you go. Easy. And see what the response would be to that. I think that the Democrats can leverage that, because if we can get a way of getting everybody, every American automatic registration, that's pretty good. That's huge. Auto registration via mail, postage paid. Yeah, everything just everything comes just like your vehicle registration. Boom, it just automatically comes to you, except you don't have to pay or ask for it. It just happens. There you go, that's how it's done in Germany, and participation is almost always 75%. Over 75%. Boom. Easy clap. Let's do it. And why vote? The Coliseum worked perfectly fine. True. They arrested another guy for trying to take out Gretchen Whitmer again? Jesus Christ. Well, there's a concept. I agree with you, with honor. You look like a girl. You look like a girl. And? Okay. Clown. Republicans are too worried about brown people with Spanish names to have IDs automatic. Well, if it's really about that, then you have to kick it. You have to kick it to their court, right? You have to kick it to their court and see what their motivation is behind that, right? No, it's just a clown. It's a chap. It's just a clown. I thought for sure you looked like a person. Well, I am a person. That's true. That part is true. I am a person. That is true. Alright, folks. Lightning round. Let's go. TLDR, voting should be as easy, accessible, free, yada yada yada. I do agree with some of the points that Chai brought up. I think that publicly funded elections equal TV airtime, stuff like that. Same. TLDR, they passed the John Lewis Act, and it's gonna get kicked to the Senate, which probably will get filibustered. This is not Code Miko's stream, true. Alright, we've got to do a mandolin riff for Zimbu. We've got to do a mandolin, and then we'll get to this one. Voting should be so easy, corporations should be voting places. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that. But I do agree with you that voting should be just as easy as possible. We also do mail-in. We also do mail-in ballots. Everyone gets a ballot with prepaid envelope to return the ballot. Yeah, sure. Like that, but without the fees. Like that, Pat Rat, but without the fees. It shouldn't cost a penny. Not one. DMVs in every state offer voter registration. Yes, but have you been to the DMV? It should be as streamlined as possible. You're a coward. You're a coward, and get mad by being called a girl. Bro, I already told you. And? Have you considered getting a hobby or something? Maybe a hobby will do you better, hmm? And two are current. Yikes. Well, they may be current, but I think only one is legal, right? Oh, I think we're onto something. Okay, maybe. figured it out. Sweet. We did something, okay? Mind you, I haven't played this in quite the time. Ooh, I'm yours. I can play that one on the what's it called? Yuki. I can play that one on the Yuki. The MIDI guitar, true. I wish double pass or instant runoff voting was more tested. Sorry, fair election processes are hard, and even without the voting part itself, getting voters factually informed is also hard. Yeah, I can, hold on.
Please clap.
Yeah, getting people, to be factually informed is another thing. Is a whole other issue, which then makes me, go back to Chai's, point about having A, equal airtime, and B, you know what? Why not just ban, like, I'm finally get to catch your stream. Hey, how's it going, Justin? Finally, to Chai's point, I think that we should have a system in place, because I've seen this work in other countries, where you cannot take political ads. You cannot take political ads. You must run on the merits. You must run on the merits of your policies and debates. Yeah, and get moderators that actually fact check. That would be a good thing. That would be a good thing. Hey, spread it forward. I'm fully vaccinated now? Hey. Surf for Girl Gritty with the tier 1 sub for 4 months in a row. 4-month streak. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You can't fact check in real time is the problem. No one would watch. I mean, you could have a situation where you could. I think you can. I made an overtly spicy joke. Oh no. Well, keep the spice to keep the spice to the nice levels here, yeah? Alright, folks. After deal with moderates, House Democrats move on forward on the $3.5 trillion budget. The House moved forward on the they have a team of people available that would literally be streamlined. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my point. The House moved forward on a $3.5 trillion budget plan as of Tuesday, as Democratic leadership tries to keep its members united around President Biden's agenda. The 220 to 212 vote was delayed after a group of 10 moderate Democrats say they would not vote yes on the budget until House Speaker Pelosi held a vote on the bipartisan infrastructure deal that passed the Senate earlier this month. After negotiations, Pelosi said that she was committed to passing the bipartisan deal by September 27. Every House Democrat voted in favor of the bill, including the holdouts. The bipartisan deal negotiated by moderates in the Senate contained about $550 billion in new money to spend on roads, bridges, waterways, public transit, railways, the power grid, and broadband internet. Lawmakers from the progressive wing of the party have cited its lack of provisions related to climate, many of which are contained in the larger budget deal. Passing an infrastructure bill is always exciting for what it means in terms of jobs and commerce in our country, Pelosi said. Now more than ever, it has to be a part of protecting our environment. We'll see. We'll see. You've been talking about this since the elections, and I'm sorry if I don't trust these folks. I want to see aggressive action. I want to see aggressive action, but we'll see. Questions at a time, they could have key fact pre-checked and have staffers run checks while the debate is happening. Yeah, something like that. I don't think you understand what people can tune into mentally. When do you introduce the fact in a debate to correct someone? If they say something, I mean, I've seen this done in even like, listen, if Twitch debates, because I've seen this done, if Twitch debates can manage to have one fact checker kind of like look over the evidence or look over the study you cited and be like, wait, hold on. Actually, what you mean by this study is, or what this study is actually saying is X, Y, and Z. I'm pretty sure a cable news network can absolutely have the ability to do that. Right? Like, if in a presidential debate, a candidate says, well, actually, percentages of this, of X, Y, or Z are, and somebody can actually, be like, well, yes, but, or if they're correct, then they're correct. I would love to see pop-up video types, presidential debates. You think Twitch debates can translate nationally? No, I mean the concept. Stop being so, like, pedantic. I mean the concept. If we can manage to do that in a just like small scale, in a small scale, then why not a cable news network? I don't get it. What would the difference be? They would have more resources to employ a team of people who can accurately assess what is being said during the debates. I don't know. That's just me. What channel uses debate? What debate channel uses fact checkers? There was a, I think there was a debate, hosted by Universal Discourse that, that had somebody as a, intermediary to kind of, if you present them evidence, they immediately look over it. As young Jamie, I assume. Who's JRE? Debate Lord does good work. So Trump fans mind defeated. This is a okay, you're talking about Joe Rogan. Cable news is not news. It's entertainment. I wish I could say it's not fiction to it, but well, I mean, oh, it's a meme. Lol. Do viewers care about chat? I don't like. The point is to try to illustrate an accurate assessment of the information being provided. Okay, that's the point. Jesus Christ. Biden called Pelosi's office. Biden called Pelosi's efforts masterful in remarks Tuesday afternoon, praising the budget deal. These investments are going to lower out-of-pocket expenses for families and not just give them a little more breathing room. Instead of giving every break in the world to corporations and CEOs, we can ask corporations and the very wealthy to just pay their fair share so we can invest in making our country stronger and more competitive. Sure. We'll see what that action translates to. Biden thanked every member of the House, saying that there are differences, strong points of view, they're always welcome. What's important is that we came together to advance our agenda. Pelosi has repeatedly stated that she would not hold the vote on the bipartisan deal in the House until the Senate had also moved on the budget resolution. The Congressional Progressive Caucus said earlier this month that a survey of its 96 members found that their majority would not pass one without the other after a vote. After the vote Tuesday, CPC Chairwoman Pramila Jayapal released a statement saying that remained its position. Our position remains unchanged. We work to first pass the Build Back Better reconciliation bill so we can deliver these once-in-a-generation popular, urgent, needed investments to poor and working families, and then pass the infrastructure bill to invest in our roads, bridges, and waterways. As our members have made it clear for 3 months, the two are integrally tied together. We will only vote for the infrastructure bill after passing the reconciliation bill. Okay. Oh no, I think somebody's like malfunctioning. Or a bot. That's either that or a bot. Are you okay, my friend? I find discussions change more minds than debates. I wonder if debates in the beginning and discussions as the candidates slim would make more sense. Maybe. Maybe. The point is, it's just to make sure that if you're a cable news network or a media source, that you should try, as part of having like responsibility, to make sure you deliver factual information and not allow politicians to just lie without any type of pushback. That's my point. I don't think it's going to change everybody's mind. Maybe it won't change nobody's mind. But the point is, if you're going to have something on the TV to millions of people, it should try to be as accurate as possible. Like, I don't know. Alio with the 10 biddies, thank you so much. Like 12% Democratic on Bloomberg's quarter. True. I mean, he tried to make it, he tried to will it into existence, but it didn't happen. I watch C-SPAN and Congress people say false things all the time, so maybe there should be a responsibility to kind of make sure that whatever gets said has at least some type of like accurate like fact check or something. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what would that do if it was like a norm to try to like make sure that if you say something on cable TV, there's going to be a little graphic or something to make sure that you're saying the truth? I think that would definitely, because a lot of these things is a lot of these folks use C-SPAN to get sound bites. Right? So if their sound bites get consistently fact checked, I think that would change behavior. If everyone but him and Bernie dropped out, do you think Bloomberg would have won? I don't know. I don't think so. I never understood why Republicans can lie on the House and Senate floor in the most obvious way and they all just move on to the next thing. Right, like politicians who lie a lot, I think that behavior would be curbed if there was a consistent responsibility by the media to kind of correct the record every time any politician says bullshit. Right, but at the same time, Silver Knight, how do they get airtime then? If they're not willing to talk to the media, how do they get airtime? So it's kind of a catch-22. I love the Zemo making fun of Diamond and Silk. 5 eggs, Diamond and Silk. Huh. Twitter? Well, if Twitter has terms of service, you can't just say whatever you want on Twitter. There's like terms of service there. If you start spouting out BS or start spouting out like stuff like that, you could be I don't get the emote. I really don't know how Diamond. I don't really know Diamond and Silk though. It's okay. It's best not to. I had to stop watching C-SPAN because I'm repeating talking points every day and bringing up random talking points in a hearing or vote that has nothing to do with it. Right, because it's being used as soundbite clips. That's what it is. That's what they do. They sit there on the soapbox and grandstand. That's what it is. Anyways, I'm gonna try to get through this. It sets up a busy September an accelerated timetable for the Senate, which needs to negotiate a budget agreement amenable to the moderates in the caucus, such as Senator. Okay, I hate this position. Not position, but like framing, because this guy is not a moderate. Such as President Joe Manchin and Madam President Kirsten Sinema, all 50 Democratic votes are needed for it to pass the chamber. With thin margins in the House, Pelosi cannot afford any defections. The initial $3.5 trillion budget proposal would result in the transformation of the country's social safety net, including provisions that would expand Medicare coverage, institute universal pre-K, fund elder care, and establish a civilian climate corps, with some of the funding coming from higher taxes on corporations and Americans making over $400,000. Cool. A group of House moderates led by Josh Gottheimer celebrated the deadline after the vote. This is a big win for America and will help people get to work and shovels in the ground. What? We have established a path forward that ensures that this can pass that we can pass this once-in-a-century infrastructure investment by September 27th, allowing us to create millions of jobs and bring our nation to the 21st century. I hope so. Oh, because of that comment. I see, Alio. That's right, Tendera. Unfortunately, we have to deal and contend with this. This is not something I like talking about, and I want this person to just go away, but here he is. Donald Trump teases potential 2024 bid amid Afghanistan crisis.
2024 presidential run in an interview released Tuesday. Trump told conservative talk show host Lisa Booth on her podcast, The Truth with Lisa Booth, quote, "We won it twice. I've won it twice, and now I have to win it again. I guess if we're going to save the country. Look, I'll make a decision." He continued, quote, "It won't be maybe for a little while. You know, a lot of people would like to see a decision immediately, but perhaps there's also a big group, including maybe myself, that would like to see it after the midterms."
Yeah, that... Good
Johnny,
lord.
Is everything ready for the grand...
Former President Trump teased a potential 2024 run in an interview released Tuesday. Quote, "We won it twice. No, you did not. I've won it twice. No, you did not. And now I have to win it again. I have to win it again." Dude, this guy cannot take an L. Like, this guy has absolutely no concept of taking his L. I guess if we're going to save the country, from what? I'll make a decision. It may be for a little, it won't be maybe for a little while. You know, a lot of people would like to see a decision immediately, but perhaps there's also a big group, including me and myself, that would like to see it after the midterms. So this is exactly what I was talking about. This is it right here. If the Democratic Party does not get its collective shit together and does not deliver on big ticket items, on one or two big ticket items, if they cannot get this comprehensive infrastructure bill, and if they can't get those climate provisions, and if they can't provide serious answers to the American people, they're going to lose bigly. They're going to lose the House. They're going to lose the Senate. And watch, if that happens, I suspect this guy's going to run. I suspect this guy's going to run. He's going to be 90 and saying Biden stole the election of 2020. True. I honestly think his narcissism prevents him from taking the L. Possibly. Biden's approval ratings are going way down. Yes, this is due to the Afghanistan thing. Yeah, and that could also create the perception that could tip balances in the midterms. Maybe unless they get their collective like shit together within the next couple of months and start delivering. This is gonna be a complete collapse. I think a complete collapse. They're gonna lose the House, Senate, and consequently in 2024 the presidency. Just boom, like that. You're asking too much, Alio. You're asking too much. But yes, Biden's approval ratings, they're approaching Trump levels. They're approaching Trump levels. So there's that. If he runs again and we don't crack down on domestic terrorism by then, there might be another hog attack. I don't know. I don't know. Here's the wild thing. Here's the wild thing. If it happens to be that we have a scenario where 2024 comes along, Trump runs, and there is a sufficient enough candidate put by the Democratic Party, right? Let's take Biden out of the equation. Let's say they put forth an actual competent candidate. They beat Trump. That's a... whew, I don't know. Yikes. What is the scope of your vision? I'm not going to defend Trump or Biden, but what does this take? What do you mean, what does this take? What? I don't get it. What take? Trump has made repeated false claims. True. That he won the election. That the race was rigged and tainted by widespread voter fraud. True. It's all rigged. It's all fake. The Dems will lose if they don't deliver material change. That just seems true. Yeah, like, yeah, dude. If you make like these campaign, if you run on these like very like aggressive, wide platforms that are trying to make any type of meaningful change, and turns out people want that, so they come out and vote for you, and then you don't deliver on that, gee, what are the odds that they're gonna come back and vote for you again? Oh no, this time we'll deliver the change that you asked for. Like, no. You're not gonna have the same energy. The 2020 election was a one-time, one-trick pony. That was a one-time thing. They're not gonna have the same chance this time. I think an actual competent candidate is asking too much of the Democratic Party. True. Listen, true. Okay, folks, I've got a meeting. Cheers. Hey, I appreciate you hanging out, Kyle. Warren Sanders don't win the demo nomination if Dems don't put money behind it. I don't know if it's if it has to do with money. Obama was competent, but in the wrong direction. True. Bernie is done. I think Bernie is done. I don't think he's gonna run again. Like, I mean, I don't think he's gonna run again. Obama thought he could compromise with the Republicans, and as a result, we got Trump. Yeah, I mean, no meaningful stuff was done. I may be unpopular, but Biden isn't out yet. Yeah, well, he's not out in the sense that, like, he's going to finish his presidency, and I think that he's probably going to peace out afterwards, to be honest. former president hit President Biden in the interview, citing the situation of the U.S. southern border, of course, and the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan. Nobody's seen an embarrassment like this between the border and Afghanistan, but I guess Afghanistan blows everything away. Yeah, they're good. They're gonna really hammer this. You best believe they're gonna try to hammer this one down. How effective it's gonna be is yet to remain, but they're definitely gonna keep signal boosting this. Such stupidity and incompetence, so I don't think you're going to be very happy. Trump touted his handling in the situation in Afghanistan while also hitting Biden's handling of the U.S. troop withdrawal from the country. Yeah, so this is going to be the game plan. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. They're going to signal boost this. They're going to try to hammer this down. And depending on what the Democratic Party does, it'll be I don't want to say 100%, but I have a strong feeling that it's not going to be good. I have a strong feeling that it's not going to be good. Unless the Dems want Biden to be Reagan, 2 terms, I'd like a younger woman president, but we don't write the checks. Yeah, but like, I don't know if Biden is going to be 2 terms. I seriously think that he's just going to not run again. It feels like every issue leads back to campaign finance reform. Well, that is something fundamental that needs to change. Then I think that a lot of stuff we can move forward with campaign finance reforms in terms of politics. That would be good. That would be a core issue that needs to be fixed. That hasn't. The media will love Biden again as soon as he starts another war. Do you think he will? I don't think he will. I think it's because of such negative reception. I don't think we will. At least not. I don't know. I doubt it. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think he will. Putting us in a quagmire like that. I mean, but they'll just flip it on him. Like the Republicans will just flip it on him. Be like, look at Biden being the warmonger. They'll just flip it. "2024 will be Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. There's no one currently filling the gaps. I think that we shouldn't be in any war, but that's just my opinion. That is my opinion too. I don't think we should be involved in any type of conflict at this time. There's no reason. We need to reorganize the priorities of our resources. And I mean, can we get healthcare? Can we please get healthcare? Can we please get some type of universal healthcare? Can we please address the climate change, the climate crisis? Can we please get some type of universal education? Can we please address the enormous, unsustainable income inequality? I mean, there's so many things that we can work on. We just need to reorganize our priorities. And war doesn't even make the list. We should not be involved in any war. The war on drugs? Yeah, but that's like public, that's domestic policy. You could just say, at any point, if these folks wanted to, at any point, they could just say, we're going to decriminalize and legalize drugs. Boom. Done. Expunge all records of non God, what is it? Aggressive? Not aggressive. Violent. Expunge all non-violent crime. Release every non-violent drug offender. And reinvest all that money into rehab, education, housing, healthcare. I mean, yeah. That's a domestic policy. Stop spending my Medicare for all money on bombing folks. True. More than half of Florida students now go to school with mask mandates, defying DeSantis. So more and more counties are realizing that the facts don't care about DeSantis' feelings. More than half of Florida students are now enrolled in public school districts with mask mandates, despite of threats of sanctions from the administration of Governor DeSantis, who decreed that only parents can decide whether their children wear masks. On Tuesday night, 2 school districts, Orange and Indian River counties, approved mandates to stop the spread of the Delta variant of the novel coronavirus. They joined 8 other districts and recently moved to require medical exemption from a doctor to opt out. The state is a hotspot for coronavirus, with a positivity rate for new cases at nearly 20% as hospitals keep filling up with patients. 2 of the 10 districts that voted for strict mandates, Indian River and Sarasota, supported Donald Trump for the president in 2020. Alio with another 10 biddies, thank you so much. DeSantis is counting on voters in these districts to support his bid for re-election next year. The others, Miami-Dade, Broward, Hillsborough, Leon, Alachua, Palm Beach, Orange, and Duval, support Joe Biden. I don't see what this has to do with anything. Such a weird... God, this is such a weird thing. Okay. Wait, that's not... source? The war on drugs affect other countries more than the US? Okay. Right, they can't say... If you want schools to be open, there has to be guardrails in place. Period. There has to be health and safety guardrails in place. If you're above 12, you should be vaccinated. If you're under 12, then you should be wearing masks. Easy. For opening up schools safely, I mean. Yeah, I know, Alio. Well then there, it's not very hidden. According to the Florida Department of Education, enrollment tallies for 2020 to 2021 combined student enrollment in those 10 counties about 52% of total enrollment. There's 2,791,687 students enrolled that year. The combined enrollment exceeded 1.45 million. Yeah. Since DeSantis' July 30th executive order, districts have watched coronavirus cases rise, especially including among young people. On Monday, officials in Orange County said that children 5 to 14 are accounted for the majority of new cases, according to the Bay News 9. Wait, but how does that have to do with the war on drugs? Okay, but what we're talking about is domestic policy. A ripple effect of taking away that source of revenue may cripple these these criminal organizations. Yes. And isn't that a good thing? I don't get it. Like, what are you talking about? You make these weird roundabout points. I don't get it. Like, yeah, so then we should legalize and decriminalize drugs here, because not only will it help us here, but what are the domino effects is that it takes out a source of revenue crucial to these organized criminal organizations. Orange County School Superintendent Barbara Jenkins told the school board on Tuesday night that the district was changing its mask policy for staff and students by eliminating the parental opt-out and only allowing medical exemptions for at least 60 days. Also Tuesday night, the school board of Indian River County voted 3-2 for a temporary K-8 mask mandate requiring a medical exemption. It seems to me, in my view, I'd rather be safe than sorry. True. Okay, listen, bud. I get it. We should end the war on drugs. I get it. I'm with you. We should end the war on drugs. We should decriminalize and legalize and reorganize the priorities. Excellent. I don't think we disagree. And? So the point is, the point is, like, DeSantis, sorry, bud, but it seems like the independent districts, which I think more and more districts should take this approach, do not care about your feelings towards science. They care about what the experts are actually saying, and they are interested in trying to minimize the impact on kids. What does that say about you, DeSantis? Minnesota wildfire, which I didn't even know. It's so hard to keep up with all of this. It's so hard to keep up with all of these climate, I guess events would be the word. Incidents. A wildfire in northeastern Minnesota more than doubled in size Tuesday, growing more than 19,000 acres after it produced a pyrocumulus cloud that generated lightning and even raindrops. It's creating its own weather. It's all good. The Greenwood fire's growth, most of which happened on Monday, prompted firefighters to leave McDougal Lake about 80 miles southwest of Duluth. Authorities fear that the structures might have been destroyed or damaged. We have crews embedded, and as this fire took off, it's quite an effort to communicate with forces on the ground so that they could get out. The pullout was a success and no injuries were reported. However, downed trees and necessary cleanup mean crews have been unable to assess the damage around the lake. Yikes. In addition to the firefighter pullout, 159 dwellings were evacuated on Monday. According to an update on National Wildfire Coordination Groups, cabins, homes, recreational sites remained under threat. Patrick Prochaska, Minneapolis resident who built a cabin near McDougal Lake in 2012, told NBC affiliate KARE that he watched via security cameras as flamed mostly bypassed his property, causing minor damage. Yikes. The point is, this is yet another incident that we can see with our very own eyes that's happening. I was feeling very scared. At the time I could see that it was not doing anything to the house, and I was kind of reassuring. You just got lucky, my friend. You just got lucky, that's all. The fire in the north, fire in and north of Superior National Forest has mostly performed according to the weather. Fire officials say on Monday, with dry fuel on the ground and temperatures in the high 80s, it was expanding inferno punctuated by strobes of lightning, which possibly could create more fires. The winds were drawn into the fires from all directions. The incident's fire behavior analyst Michael Locke said in a video update on Tuesday, created what we call pyrocumulus clouds, and really high in the atmosphere you'd see a thunderstorm, and in fact they were high enough to produce a few sprinkles of rain and even some lightning. Jesus Christ. I live in North California. Oof. Is there like a live stream satellite image map or something that would show us all the current fires? I don't know. If somebody in chat could find it. Oh, wow. Just like that. Jesus Christ. The site is really janky. Yeah, but you can get an idea because this large little fire circle is 300,000 acres or more. Look how many large circles there are. Look how many large circles there are. Click on that one in northeast Minnesota. The Greenwood incident. Acres burned. 21 million. Wait, no, 21,719. Wait, is that million? US is on fire. We're arguing about whether or not to take it seriously. True. $21,719.72. Yes, thousand. Thank you, Darknet. 21,700. and 19.72. Jesus. Current as of 8:24, 5:33 p.m. Yikes. You can zoom in. Whoa. Ah, this is it. Now, okay, this is the one that the article was referring to. What if all the flood areas were on the same map? I guess. I mean, the IPCC put a very comprehensive interactive map where you can actually see the sea level rise estimations, temperature estimations, and things like that. That's all forest up there? Yikes. Yeah. Yeah, forest. Superior National Forest is right there. Jesus. Part of the country is getting hurricanes and part getting tornadoes, and then the west is just on fire. Not to mention the all the flood zones too, Tandera, with all these other states that are susceptible to flooding. So yeah, it doesn't matter. Pick your poison. Every part has something to worry about with exacerbated weather events, and it's just going to become the new norm should we continue down this path. These wildfires, this is going to be like the new norm, possibly worse. Hurricanes, each hurricane season is just going to be more intense, bigger storms, more often, and more of them. Storm surge, sea level rise. And if you don't live in the coastal cities, then you're susceptible to more flooding or extreme drought, depending on where you live. It's not good. What's the biggest fire right now? Good question. Yes, California seems to have the bulk of it. Yes, the bootleg fire. That's right. All of these are in forest areas. Six Rivers National Forest, the Dixie incident, Antelope incident, McFarland. The purple means the incident is complex. Right here, incident complex. Mind you, these little yellows are new fires that have developed in 24 hours. New fires that are past 24 hours. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. This just gets worse. Oh, shoot. All these incidents you see in the bottom are all new incidents in the past 24 hours. How are they gonna put out all these fires? It's gonna take a long time. Dixie incident. 735,064 areas acre burn. This is not even half contained. This is 45% contained. It's been over a month. It's been over a month and they have 45% contained. We're just gonna have to learn to live with it. Well, to a degree, yeah. Failure to mitigate what's the root cause of this will just make this the new norm. What do the fires look like on the ground level? Scary. We saw pictures. Yikes. Yeah, there are fires in Canada. There's fires in Siberia. Yeah, this is I think it's Sabercat. This is probably as a result of the Brexit policy. Yeah, can you send it to me with honor? Yeah, DM it to me. DM it because I have links stopped in chat. Or whisper it to me, I should say. Alright, folks. We've got to cover some ground, okay? We've got to cover some ground. The reason why I brought that article up is because we've been covering the technical summary of the IPCC report, and we will get through the entirety of it. Page 38. Oh wait, I think we were even further.
That face that
Yeah, it looks like this. I got copyrighted for showing like a news clip from something. So I'm just gonna play it without sound.
South of the highway.
But I think that the images pretty much speak for themselves. This one's a good one here. I think the images speak for themselves. It serves you. uh, listen. Yesterday, no, I'm sorry. This last weekend, I could not find for movie night, which I was trying to do on the Discord. So if you guys join the Discord, this Sunday, we will be watching Fern Gully. That I could not find anywhere. So I had to take some alternative measures, and alternative measures that are very ethical alternative measures to obtain said media in Minecraft and Roblox, and we got it. Wait, I got a better one. Hold on. We had to take alternative measures to be able to bring this for July, as for this Sunday, and yeah, you should all join the Discord. I think this is a resident. Oh yeah. The biggest immediate economic impact is to tourism. Yeah, okie dokie. Yeah, TLDR, this doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. I'm pretty sure we went over this, but just in case. I don't do the malarkey over here, okay? No malarkey. I literally just said, no malarkey. Jesus Christ. These people. All right. You too? Jesus Christ. Did I miss something? Like, is the circus like today? Is the circus today? Did I miss something? Did I miss something? Is like the circus today? CTV must not be streaming today. Yeah, I know, Alio. Getting many followers on Twitch to bothering other streamers. All 10 of the viewers need somewhere to go. True. I suppose. Jeez. Who's the girl that keeps zooming in? And? What if it was? What if it wasn't? What does it matter? Future changes in global surface temperature. The AR6 assessment of future change in global surface temperature is for the first time in an IPCC report, explicitly constructed by combining new projections for the SSP scenarios with observational constraints based on past simulated warming, as well as the AR6 updated assessment of equilibrium climate sensitivity and transient climate response. Climate forecasts initialized from the observed climate state have in addition been used for the period of 2019 to 2028. Right? But I need to know what's in your pants. Well, sad to say, I checked, and I think I found some lint. But yeah, I think that's about it, in case anyone else was wondering. I found lint. The climate forecast initialized from the observed climate state have in addition been used for the period of 2019 to 2028. The inclusion of additional timelines of evidence has reduced the assessment of uncertainty ranges for each scenario. During the near term 2021 to 2040, a 1.5 degrees increase in global surface temperature relative to 1850 to 1900 is very likely to occur in scenario SSP5, 8.5 likely to occur in SSP2, 4.5, and SSP3, and more likely than not to occur in the first scenario. So SSP1 1.9, SSP1 2.6. The time of crossing a warmer level here is defined here as the midpoint of the first 20-year period during which the average global surface temperature exceeds the level. In all scenarios assessed here except SSP5, which I made a point yesterday to go over. I'm doing this recap because this part is important. We went over this yesterday where it seems to me, according to what this is saying, is that we are realistically, I mean, unless like tomorrow we decide to do all hands on deck, everything changes, like everything moves, all gears start turning tomorrow in an aggressive manner. It seems like in all assessments put here do get us, do point us, picture us at 1.5 degrees Celsius regardless. Now, what we do determines what happens after that, which is why it's so crucial to act during these times. Maybe a copper or two, true. And so the point being is that it seems like in every scenario, it is more likely than not, even in the most charitable scenario, that we do reach that 1.5 degrees Celsius. However, we should strive to do everything that we can to determine what happens after. Right? So that we either A, stabilize and go down, or B, do we continue the upward trend, which is unacceptable, catastrophic. This is about 10 years earlier. Oh yeah, and here's the other point I wanted to hammer down that we went over yesterday. This is about 10 years earlier than the midpoint of the likely range, 2030 and 2052. So the timeline accelerated. Assessed in SR 1.5, which assumed continuation of then current warming rate. This rate has been confirmed in the AR6. Roughly half of the 10-year difference arises from a larger historical warming diagnosed in AR6. In other words, it seems like based on new, better information, this is where we're at. Roughly, yes, the other half arises because for central estimates of climate sensitivity, most scenarios show stronger warming over the near term than what's estimated as current in the SR 1.5 with medium confidence. So we've got more warming than expected. Stronger warming. It is more likely than not, under the SSP1 1.9's global surface temperature relative to 1850 to 1900, will remain below 1.6 degrees Celsius throughout the 21st century, implying a potential temporary overshoot of 1.5 degrees Celsius warming of no more than 0.1, right? If climate sensitivity lies near the lower end of the assessed very likely range, crossing that the 1.5 degrees warming level is avoided in scenarios SSP 1.9 and SSP 1 to 2.6 with medium confidence. In other words, if we get our collective shit together, there is a scenario where we might be able to meet that. There is a scenario. Granted, it is looking at the most optimal rose-colored glasses, through rose-colored glasses, right? Global surface temperature in any individual year, in contrast to the 20-year average, could by 2030 exceed 1.5 degrees Celsius relative to 1850-1900 with a likelihood between 40 and 60%. Right. The charitable 40% chance of likelihood is still pretty large. Pretty large. Across the scenarios considered here with medium confidence. During the 21st century, 2 degrees Celsius increase in global surface temperatures relative to 1850 to 1900 will be crossed under SSP5 and SSP3. SSP5 8.5, SSP3 7.0 will extremely be likely crossed under SSP2 4.5, but it is unlikely to be crossed under SSP-1 2.6 and extremely unlikely to be crossed under SSP-1 1.9. In other words, it would behoove us to try to do what we can to make sure we get the more favorable scenarios of the 5. For the midterm period of 2041 to 2060, this 2 degrees Celsius warming level is very likely to be crossed under the SSP-5 8.5, likely to be crossed under SSP-3 7.0, and more likely than not to be crossed under SSP more likely than not to be crossed under SSP-2 4.5. So yeah, again, we have to do everything. We have to do everything that we can to make sure that these scenarios that we reach the more optimal ends of these scenarios. I mean, it's, to me, it seems pretty clear what they're trying to tell us. Events of reduced and increased global surface temperature trends at decadal timescales will continue to occur in the 21st century, but will not affect the centennial warming. Very high confidence. If strong mitigation is applied from 2020 onward, as reflected in the SSP-1 to 1.9, its effect on 20-year trends in global surface temperature would likely emerge during the near term 2021 to 2040, measured against an assumed non-mitigation scenario, such as SSP-3 7.0 and SSP-5 8.5. All statements about crossing the 1.5 degrees Celsius level assume that no major volcanic eruption occurs during the near term. Yeah. What we do now, the policies and actions that we take now, will have ramifications in the decades to come. That's what it is. That's what it is. Compared to 1850 and 1900, average global surface temperature over the period of 2081-2100 is very likely to be higher by 1.0 degrees Celsius to 1.8 degrees Celsius in the low CO2 emission scenario, and by 3.3 degrees Celsius to 5.7 degrees Celsius in the high CO2 scenarios. We can see the difference. That's huge, by the way. That's huge. These differences are massive. When it comes to climate change, half a degree of Celsius is significant to make impacts. Can you imagine 3, 4 degrees of Celsius? Oh, it's a humanitarian crisis. Yes, it is an ecological crisis, which then translates to a humanitarian crisis. Yes. It is primarily an ecological crisis that translates to a humanitarian crisis. I mean, I say this over 9,000 times. What's going to happen when we're unable to grow food the way we are normal? What's going to the way we normally do to grow food to get our agriculture? It's not going to be the same. What happens when our clean water reservoirs look like empty barrens, as we saw in was it Colorado, as we saw in Colorado. I mean, this could be an extinction crisis. Yeah, it could. It is an extinction crisis. Ecologically, there are we're going in an exponential direction on loss of biological diversity. In the highest, yes. So this change here is massive. Is massive. For the scenarios of SSP, for the scenarios of SSP1, 2.6, SSP2, 4.5, and SSP3, 7.0 to the corresponding very likely ranges are 1.3 to 2.4 degrees Celsius, 2.1 to 3.5 degrees Celsius, 2.8 to 4.6 Celsius, respectively. That is huge. That is not acceptable. The uncertainty ranges for the periods of 2081-2100 continue to be dominated by the uncertainty in equilibrium, climate sensitivity, and transient climate responses. Very high confidence. The CMIP6 models project a wide range of global surface temperatures changed in the assessed range, high confidence. Furthermore, the CMIP6 global surface temperature trends increase tends to be larger than in CMIP5. And here they are. I can't imagine humans surviving 5 degrees of warming. Yeah, that's gonna get unironically uninhabitable. I mean, like, folks are dying right now. Right now. With these heat waves. I mean, it was what, hundreds? Wasn't it hundreds? Over 100 something? It was definitely over 100 people. In just one of these heat waves, where temperatures got more than 117 degrees, 116, 107, and folks were dying. Emergency room visits skyrocketed for heat-related incidents. Yeah. So imagine that times 5. And now imagine that times 5, while that being the new norm. Those 100 triple-digit temperatures, that's just gonna be the new norm if it continues. I think Greta was saying that we lose about 1,000 species to extinction a day. Yeah, it is an extinction event. It is. Not just for humans. I think that depending on our course of action, some humans as a species will survive. How's the Doom Ring going? We're doing good. We're doing great. We're just hammering down the point of just how screwed we are. We got 100 more pages of Doom Ring to go. Yep. Yeah. They were a very well. I mean, they were trolling. Along with a couple of other folks. We got like 3 or 4 folks in here. I think it was about 3, who just insisted that somehow I was a girl and made a really big deal about it. Which, like, again, so what if I was? I don't know. It's kind of weird. Very interested in what was in my pants. So these are the 5 scenarios. This section summarizes knowledge about observed and projected large-scale climate change, including variability in extremes, drivers, and attribution of observed changes to human activities. It describes observed and projected large-scale changes associated with major components of the climate system: atmosphere, ocean, including sea level change, land, biosphere and cryosphere, and the carbon, energy, and water cycles. In each subsection, reconstructed past, observed, and attributed recent and projected near and long-term changes to mean climate variability and extremes are presented, where possible, and in an integrated way. Yeah. In addition to global surface temperatures, a wide range of indicators across all components of the climate system is changing rapidly, with many at levels unseen in millennia. These observed changes provide a coherent picture of a warming world, many aspects of which have now been formally attributed to human influences, and human influence on the climate system as a whole is assessed as unequivocal for the first time in IPCC assessment reports. Unequivocal. So again, for the final umpteenth time, we can put that final nail in the coffin. It is unequivocal that this is attributed to human influences. I mean, how much more direct do you need to be? How much more clear and direct do you need to be? It is virtually certain that global surface temperatures rise and associated changes can be limited through rapid and substantial reductions in GHG emissions. Continued GHG emissions greatly increase the likelihood of a potentially irreversible change in global climate systems. Irreversible changes in the global climate system. In particular, with respect to the contribution of ice sheets and global sea level change. Again, the future looks like this is painting a picture of what the future looks like. With high confidence, they are telling us if we do not change course, there's the likelihood is greatly increased of potentially irreversible changes in the global climate system, in particular with respect to the contribution of ice sheets to global sea level change. I.e., goodbye coastal cities, island nations, so on and so forth. That's what it's telling us. What future? The future that we make, that we decide here and now. The decisions that we make, or not make, will determine that, Sandara. Plain and simple. The decisions that we make here, or the decisions that we don't make, is what determines what future we see. The Earth system model, simulation, and historical period since 1850 are only able to reproduce observed changes in key climate indicators when anthropogenic forcings are included. Taken together with numerous formal attribution studies across an even broader range of indicators and theoretical understandings, this underpins the unequivocal attribution of observed warming of the climate systems to human influence. Yeah. Assessment of observed changes in large-scale indicators of mean climate across climate system components and their attribution to human influence. The color coding indicates the assessed confidence and likelihood of human contribution as the main, as a driver or main driver specified in that case were available. See the color key. Where's the color key? Oh, Jesus Christ. I see. Nice meme. Warming of the global climate system since pre-industrial times. Completely black. Future climate change across a range of atmospheric, cryospheric, oceanic, and biospheric indicators depends upon future emission pathways. Outcomes for a broad range of indicators increasingly diverge through the 21st century across the different SSPs. Due to the slow response of the deep ocean and ice sheets, this divergence continues long after 2100, and the 21st century emission choices will have implications for the GMSL rise for centuries to millennia. Furthermore, it is likely that at least one large volcanic eruption will occur during the 21st century. It is likely. Yeah, well, Jesus. Such an eruption would reduce global surface temperature for several years, decrease land precipitation, alter monsoon circulation, and modify extreme precipitation at both global and regional scales. Yeah. So they're possibly attributing at least one large volcanic eruption. Observational records show changes in a wide range of climate extremes that have been linked to human influence on the climate system. In many cases, the frequency and intensity of future changes in extremes can be directly linked to the magnitude of future projected warming. Changes in extremes are widespread over land since the 1950s, including a virtually certain global increase in extreme air temperature and a likely intensification in global-scale extreme precipitation. It is extremely likely that human influence is the main contributor to the observed decrease in the likelihood of severity of hot-cold extremes. The frequency of extreme temperatures and precipitation events in current climate will change with warming, with warm extremes becoming more frequent, cold extremes become less frequent, and precipitation extremes become more frequent in most locations. Yeah. The future isn't real, it's just a present moment incoming. That's one way of thinking about it. I like that emote. The summary on the table and observed changes in extremes attributions. In extremes, their attribution is 1950, except where stated otherwise. The projected change at 1.5 degrees to plus 2, plus 1.5 plus 2, and plus 4 degrees of global warming on global and continental scales. Yeah, so this is here. Warm hot extremes refer to warmer and more frequent hot days and nights. Warm spells, heat waves over most land areas. Cold extremes refer to warmer and fewer cold days and nights, and cold spells, cold waves over most land areas. Drought events are relative to a predomination fraction of land area. For tropical cyclones, observed changes in attribution refer to categories 3 to 5, while projected changes refer to category 4 and 5. These tables are more detailed versions of this table containing tables 11.1 and 11.2, a more detailed version of this table, which is in the full, I imagine. I imagine this is in the complete report, containing in particular information on regional scales. In general, higher warming levels imply stronger projected changes. Also, for indicators where confidence level does not depend on warming level, and the table does not explicitly quantify the global sensitivity. Yeah. Ooh. Debate me, bro. Bro, Don't be scared. Debate me. Come on, do it. Debate me, bro. What? CTV not available today? Holy yikes. Jesus. Sorry about that. I'm sorry, is my stream title wrong? Does it say everybody, is my stream title wrong? Is it like debate day? Did I miss like a clown, did I miss the circus? Is there a circus going on today? Holy yikes. I am a debate master. I am the biggest debate lord, bro. Yeah. Oh my god, spread it forward. This isn't Prime K's, true. True, undefeated debate lord. That's actually true. You can't lose if you don't play. So clearly this table tells us very disturbing stuff. So if we get to the projected plus 1.5, the rate of precipitation associated with tropical cyclones goes up by 11%. Tropical cyclones proportion of intensity of proportion of intense cyclones goes up 10%. This is just a blanket statement. Compound events, co-current heat waves and droughts, just frequency and intensity increases as we go with warming. Even at plus 1.5, 2, and 4. And this is all in the yellow and orange are likely with high confidence or very likely. You can't win even if you do play? Yeah, that's true. That is true. I mean, sometimes it's, you know... sometimes it's easy to be goaded into doing it, but nah, I'm good. I'm trying not to do that. The winning move is to Gish Gallop and add Hump, true. The only winning move is not to play, true. Yeah, I should really, like, step up my Gish Gallop and add Hums, right? I should just start, like, creating a table of ad homs that I can use, and Gish Gallop, like, points to just fire. Logs off to touch grass, I win, true. In case you needed any, like, physical illustration of just how, like, things are progressing when it comes to climate change, this is actually really good. A good illustration of weather events as we get warmer temperatures. Since 1750, changes in the drivers of climate system are dominated by the warming influence of increases in atmospheric GHG concentrations and a cooling influence from aerosols, both resulting from human activities. In comparison, there has been negligible long-term influence from solar activity and volcanoes. So contrary to our buddies at Friends of Science, the sun is indeed not the main driver of climate change. It's human activity. Concentrations of CO2, CH4, methane, and N2O nitrogen oxide have increased to levels unprecedented in at least 800,000 years, and there's high confidence that current CO2 concentrations have not been experienced for at least 2 million years. Jesus. Global means concentrations of anthropogenic aerosols peaked in the late 20th century and have slowly declined since in the northern and mid-latitudes, although they continue to increase in South Asia and East Africa. High confidence. Total anthropogenic effective radiative forcing in 2019 relative to 1750 was 2.72. I assume this is a formula that I don't understand. I'm not gonna pretend I understand this part. Ooh, I'm not even gonna play. Yikes. Is this like medium? Is this trying to tell me that this is an equation to figure out what the anthropogenic effects are? How much in other words, what the equation is to get how much we affected the climate? Is that what it's telling me? Because this says anthropogenic effective radiative forcing. In other words, what we did in 2010 relative to 1750 was 2.72. So I don't know what this equation is. So I'm not going to pretend I know what that means, but it looks like an equation to determine anthropogenic effective radiative forcing, I assume. Right, the more climate changes, the more communism it is. That's right. And has likely been growing at an increased rate since the 1970s. Well, that I understand. that I understand. That's very clear. Solar activity since 1900 was high but not exceptional compared to the past 9,000 years. High confidence. The average magnitude and variability of volcanic aerosols since 1900 has not been unusual compared to at least 2,500 years. Medium confidence. However, sporadic strong volcanic eruptions can lead to temporary drops in global surface temperature lasting 2 to 5 years. Atmospheric CO2 concentrations have changed substantially over millions of years. Current levels of atmospheric CO2 have not been experienced for at least 2 million years. High confidence figure, this figure, over 1750 to 2019, CO2 increased 131.6 plus or minus 2.1 parts per million for a 47.3% increase. The centennial rate of change of CO2 since 1850 has no precedent in at least the past 800,000 years. And the fastest rates of change over the last 56 million years were at least a factor of 4 low confidence than over 1900 to 2019. Several networks of high accuracy surface observations show that concentration of CO2 have exceeded 400 parts per million, reaching 409. Is that plus or minus 0.3 parts per million in 2019? The ERF from CO2 in 2019 relative to 1750 was 2.16. Again, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure this is an equation to determine this. I think. By 2019, concentrations of methane reached 1,866.3 parts per billion. The increase, plus or minus 3.3 parts per billion. The increase in 1750 to 1,137 plus or minus 10 parts per billion, 157.8% far exceeds the range over multiple interglacial transitions of the past 800,000 years. Holy yikes. I mean, I think it's safe to say there is a clear indication of what we need to do. And N2O is from fertilizer. There is a high confidence that this recent growth is largely driven by emissions from fossil fuel exploitation, livestock, and waste, with ENSO driving multi-annual variability of wetland and biomass burning emissions. In 2019, ERF from methane was 0.54. Yeah, so, okay. I think it is an equation to figure out the ERF. So methane is a problem. Methane should be focused, is what this is telling me. I mean, 157% increase. Science and math is hard, folks. Since 1750, NTO increased by 62, plus or minus 6.6 parts per billion, reaching a level of 332.1. Plus or minus 0.4 in 2019 parts per billion. The increase in 1750s of comparable magnitude to glacial interglacial fluctuations the past 800,000 years. So like these are just like back-to-back unprecedented levels. N2O concentration trends since 1880 are largely driven by 30% increase in emissions from the expansion and intensification of global agriculture. Yep, yeah, exactly what Darknet was saying. High confidence. And again, we have this ERF equation. ERF was 0.21. That, I really want to know what this is. Okay, we actually did pretty good. Page 44. Page 44. We did great. We did great. Folks, unfortunately, I do have to get going. I appreciate all of you guys hanging out here. Thank you, Darknet. Thank you, Spread It Forward. If you guys enjoyed the content, don't forget to follow. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, the YouTubes. Join us on the Discord. We'll be doing Fern Gully this Sunday. So yeah, just keep up with the channel. Join the Discord, do the YouTubes, do the Twitters, TikToks, and all the social media. We'll be back tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We're using methane from fracking to turn to fertilizer, which turns into N2O to grow crops to feed cows, which yeah, like a cycle. A really bad cycle of like methane production. Does your cat have a TikTok? No, but it should. No, but it should. Alright, folks, as always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. As always, I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next stream. See ya! My cat should have a TikTok. Good luck, folks. I appreciate you hanging out, Cal. See you in the MR chat. True. Alright, let's hang out with Ben. Hang tight, folks. We're hanging out with Ben today. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.